What's good, YouTube? It's Zach, and today we got NFL Week 3 Power Rankings. Hope everyone's having an amazing day so far. It's been a crazy Week 2 so far in the league. We're going to discuss the top 10 teams in the NFL, but first, we have to start off with 3 honorable mentions. The first honorable mention I decided to give was the Kansas City Chiefs, and in the Super Bowl rematch, it was a very, very sloppy game against the Philadelphia Eagles, but the Chiefs are still somewhat of a decent team. They are 0-2. But, I mean, they've lost to, the Chargers and the Eagles who are on this list, and they're still a decent football team. They should probably bounce back, be around like 9-5 or so when it gets later into the season. My second honorable mention I'm going to do is the Denver Broncos. They had the game in the bag against the Indianapolis Colts, being led by Indiana Jones, and they had a penalty. I think it was a leverage 15-yard penalty on a game 60-yard field goal, but, the Broncos, they have a really good defense. Indiana Jones kind of made that look silly. Very good football team and deserve an honorable mention. And my third and final honorable mention of the week, I'm going to give it to the Arizona Cardinals. Yes, they are 2-0, but their 2 wins are against the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints, and they did not look pretty doing it, but they are 2-0. And their defense actually appears to be a little bit better than their offense. It's not just Budda Baker back there anymore. But hopefully Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride can keep developing and get this Cardinals offense rolling. And if they keep winning, they're going to keep moving up in the power rankings. Before we get into this top 10 here, I just have to say there's a lot of mid teams. So make sure you leave your comments down below because I'll be very interested in reading what you guys think. So at number 10, I decided to go with the Washington Commanders because they played the Giants week 1. We thought the Giants were an absolute dumpster fire. I mean, they still could be. But after Russell Wilson put up 450 yards against the Cowboys this past week, it makes me want to rethink things a little bit. Jaden Daniels is still a pretty good quarterback, but I am very concerned about their run game. Austin Eckler tore his ACL, and I think their leading rusher on Thursday night was 17 yards by Jaden Daniels. So as long as they are able to improve that run game, the Commanders are going to be a top 10 team. The number 9 spot, we got the Detroit Lions, who had a big bounce back game against the Chicago Bears, led by head coach Ben Johnson. They know that guy kind of well in Detroit. Jared Goff just having another Jared Goff type performance. I think he had 330 yards and 5 scores. And their loss in week 1 to the Packers, who you're going to see later in this list, unfortunately. They're a really good football team, but I think the Lions still have a lot to learn and improve on, but they still earn a top 10 spot for now. And at the number 8 spot, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mike Evans severely disappointed me in fantasy this past week, but on both sides of the ball, the Buccaneers are still definitely above average. Baker Mayfield, what a turnaround this guy has made, going from Cleveland to the Panthers to the Rams, and then had a tryout with the Buccaneers. We didn't even think he was going to beat Kyle Trask in that tryout, but he's made the best of his situation, and the Buccaneers are going to be a scary team to come, and they land in at the number 8 spot. Coming in at the number 7 spot, I had to do it. I avoided doing it last week, and now I have to put the Colts at the number 7 spot. Daniel Jones and the head coach Shane Steichen are just absolutely torching the league so far. They didn't go into Denver. They hosted the Denver Broncos, one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the NFL, and Daniel Jones looked amazing. Jonathan Taylor put up 165 yards on a defense that's supposed to be really good against the run, and I just couldn't avoid it anymore. I am 0-2 predicting the Colts this year because I predicted them to lose both games. So I'm going to have some things to think about here in week 3. Daniel Jones is probably top 5 in MVP voting right now, which is kind of crazy to say, but the Colts come in at the number 7 spot. First team outside the top 5 coming in at the number 6 spot, I went with the Los Angeles Rams. This retirement home has a lot to offer offensively. Matthew Stafford's back is still holding up. Kyron Williams did not have a great week 2, but their front 7 is still one of the best in the NFL, and it's just going to come down if their secondary is going to be able to hold up when the games start mattering the most in December and early January. Rams coming in at the number 6 spot. We are in our top 5. Coming in at number 5, we have the other Los Angeles team in the Los Angeles Chargers. Just lost in fantasy by 1 point because of their quarterback, Justin Herbert. Had a pretty good performance. Not great, but he was able to get the job done against that Las Vegas Raiders team. Really still don't have a run game. Amari Hampton is killing me right now, but their offensive line is looking okay without Rashawn Slater. Definitely wouldn't hurt to help having that guy back on the offensive line, which could maybe be the result of their run game. But Jim Harbaugh decided, you know what, we're just going to be a pass-first team now, and it's working out so far. Chargers, congratulations, first time in the top 5 this season. Top 4 teams are by far away from all the other teams in the NFL. Like 5 through 10 was by far the hardest part about this list. So coming at the number 4 spot, I have the Philadelphia Eagles. In that Chris Jones clip, they said that Jalen Hurts barely even had 100 yards, and then Jalen Hurts said, F that, I'm still beating you. Kind of funny. Go watch that clip if you haven't already. Eagles, they're still a really good football team on paper. Their wins have been impressive so far, just in terms of their competition. But this offense has kind of struggled coming out of the gate. Saquon Barkley, I know we weren't expecting him to go for 2,000 yards again, but kind of slow coming out the gate so far. They'll turn it around. I'm not worried about that. But they definitely deserve to be in this top 4 of teams that I can consider to be championship contender. 3 spot, we have the Baltimore Ravens, who absolutely destroyed the Cleveland Browns this past week. Lamar Jackson started just throwing dots all over the place. I believe he had 4 scores. Derrick Henry was held to under 30 yards. Congratulations, Browns. You held Derrick Henry to a really bad game. Y'all still almost lost by 30, but you got the win against Derrick Henry, if that means anything to y'all. The Ravens, they're always going to be like a top 3 team in the regular season, but I'm hoping they can dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs this postseason. If not, then what's the point of even winning all these games in September? At the number 2 spot, this is kind of a bit of a toss-up, but I just went with the Green Bay Packers. This defense is legit. Micah Parsons is going to be that game changer that could get the Packers to the Super Bowl. It's going to be between them and Philly. Right now, you could potentially throw in Tampa Bay or the Rams, but I just think the Packers and the Eagles own the NFC. Right now, Jordan Love is doing pretty well. I heard that Jaden Reed's going to be out for a significant amount of time with that broken collarbone. But the Packers, they're a championship contender. That pains me to say it. If you guys haven't seen that graphic, Bart Starr, Brett Favre, and Aaron Rodgers all won their first Super Bowl at 27 years old. Jordan Love turns 27 in November. If it's part of not the trilogy, but whatever the 4th coming of the Packers quarterback, Packers are winning the Super Bowl this year. And at the number 1 spot, I could not see any other team than the Buffalo Bills earning this number 1 spot. Josh Allen with a broken nose did not have a good counting stat game, but still had his impact in this game against the Jets. They're winning 30-10. James Cook definitely earned that bag. I believe he had like 150, 160 some yards, 2 scores in this game. I might be getting his yardage wrong, but I know he definitely had 2 touchdowns. The Bills' defense without Ed Oliver still looked okay, but that was against the New Jersey Jets. We'll have to wait and see how long he's going to be out. But Bills, they earn the number 1 spot for now. And that's all I have for you today. This is my top 10, and then my 3 honorable mentions being the Chiefs, the Broncos, and the Cardinals. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comment section below. Again, this is maybe the hardest week of power rankings so far. And other than that, it's been Zach. I'll see you all in my next video. Peace.